All new here tonight, the ceasefire between Israel and Iran remains intact as neither side has attacked each other since Tuesday.
Now both sides are assessing the damages done in the conflict. Iran continues to assess their nuclear facilities to determine how far back the war pushed them in acquiring a nuclear weapon. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee is touring medical buildings that were struck by the Iranian attacks. Huckabee criticizing Iran for attacking medical facilities in the 12-day conflict.
It's also a reminder that when the Iranians targeted various places in Israel, they targeted places like the most significant medical center in all of the southern part of the country. A medical center that not only takes care of Israelis and Jews, but takes care of Palestinians and many Muslims as well. It is a reminder that there was no sense of making this only about military targets. It was intended to inflict damage as much as possible to civilian targets.
Iran's leader called out President Trump in his first address since the conflict, claiming the bunker buster bombs did not do as much as the president is claiming.
On Capitol Hill, one of Kentucky's congressmen is confident that America's strikes on Iran have destroyed their ability to threaten the United States with any nuclear weapons.
But another says he's waiting to make judgments on the severity of the U.S. strikes until the House gets its classified briefing tomorrow. Isaiah Kim Martinez is covering this for us. So, Isaiah, what'd you find out?
Well, Connie, Doug, there's been some attention on those nuclear sites in Iran. Were they obliterated, like the president's administration has said, or were they severely damaged? Where does that stand? I pose those questions to our federally elected officials here in Kentucky today.
I certainly applaud the president for taking this bold action to dismantle Iran's nuclear capability.
Republican Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr is confident America's strikes on Iran have destroyed their ability to threaten the U.S. with nuclear weapons.
Iran has been set back years, probably decades, in terms of its ability to threaten the world with nuclear weapons.
Barr, who's also running to replace Mitch McConnell in the Senate and working hard for the Trump endorsement, talked to me one-on-one virtually from D.C. Are there more moves, more strikes or negotiations that have to be made?
I don't think so. I think the United States is in a much safer place. I think the world is safer today than it was a week ago.
Would you like to see a regime change in Iran?
Of course. Of course I would.
It comes as Democrats on Capitol Hill, like Congressman Morgan McGarvey of Louisville, push for the War Powers Resolution, directing President Trump to remove U.S. armed forces from any future offenses in Iran.
What's clear is that he cannot go back in and put American troops in harm's way or commit our troops to another endless war in the Middle East. We're not going to allow that. Only Congress has the ability to declare war.
Rabbi Shlomo Litvin, chairman of the Kentucky Jewish Council, believes this is now a defining issue in the Senate race, even with primaries still many months away next May. The council has not yet endorsed a candidate.
That issue is not going away. And it is incredibly important that we have a senator who is aware of those issues and is willing to combat those issues, who's willing to stand up for American values and American interests.
The other Republican in this race so far is former Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, whose campaign declined an interview. On X, Cameron posting, "Not a single American soldier lost. No endless war in the Middle East. Just a historic ceasefire agreement." The sole Democrat in this race right now, State Representative Pam Stevenson, did not respond to my request for comment. In a tweet, she said, "The American people are deeply opposed to another war. Congress knows it. They would never have approved an escalation this unplanned and geopolitically reckless." I asked Governor Andy Barr if he plans to endorse or campaign for Pam Stevenson. He says he still plans to see who gets into the race, but of course he will support Democratic candidates in their federal races. Doug, Connie.